Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited. I just got my package from Gourmande Girls. This is the new BITTEN palette. I'm just gonna open it up real quick off camera and then I'll show you what it looks like. Huge thank you to Gourmande Girls, Christina. Thank you so much for sending this to me. I am just unrolling it so it comes super bubble wrapped in this. Oh, she's so pretty. So the artwork for this was created by Doodles by the Bunny. Hello. Oh, BITTEN is like this really pretty, like purpley font. Oh, I'm so excited for you guys to get your hands on this. I haven't even seen the inside yet. I just wanted to do that together, but literally, I feel like I can already tell I'm just gonna love this. So slip cover off as per usual. If you guys know, this is my favorite shape of their palette. Let's pop it in together. I'm just gonna pull out the little plastic protection thing. Oh. I'm just gonna kind of show you. So here's, oops, cover the mirror. So here's our color story. Gorgeous pinky purple situation. So what I just for a second freaked out about, hang on, let me pick one up, are these little tiles. If you saw my Titanium Fox's Grackle Chat palette, I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing that they started putting these in their palettes. And I just got a palette from DD Signature today. Gourmande Girls now, they as well are putting these little things in their palette. God, I'm gonna have to figure something out with this. I feel bad doing it, but let's just do it. I love that brands are starting to do this to protect the shimmers. Freaking brilliant. The color story, ooh. Isn't she pretty? She's very purple. She's very purpley pink. This shade already, though, Hysteria, is just standing out to me. Okay, so what I really want to go ahead and try to do this time around is do hopefully some live swatches. I'm going to really try to like edit it down so it's not like boring. Okay, so we're a bit darker. I'm hoping that by swatching in the darkness, the shades will pop a little bit more. So we're going to start off with Mina. Eternal Dust. Vampira. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Hunted. Slayer. Bloodlust, Nosferatu, Euphoria, Shapeshifter, Hysteria. Ooh, I tell you that's my favorite. Fangs, Immortal, BITTEN, and Hellmouth. So here are all our swatches. Sorry, it's not perfect, but I really love this. These swatches and the depth. I'm really excited. I'm gonna go ahead and go off stage, create a look off stage. I'm gonna go create a look and we'll be back to show you how to do it. Alright, so I just zoomed this in a little bit. You can see this gorgeousness we created. I'm super in love. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the shade Nosferatu. And I'm following my, pretty normal shape that I tend to do. Just mainly taking this into my outer corner. I always just stop where that colored part of the eye is, and then I usually will wing it out, and then just doing the exact same thing on top. And then I am going to pull the shade a little bit more inwards. We'll probably say about to where that colored part ends in the inner part of the eye. And then I'm going to dip in with a little bit of the shade Hellmouth, and really just focusing this on the outer corner as kind of like our depth shades. I'll take a little teeny bit underneath the eye, but mainly focusing it on this outer corner. If you're new here and you don't know, I love depth, so that's why we're doing this. I'm a depth queen at heart. For always will want to have as much depth as I possibly can. Next, we're going to dip in with the shade Vampira, and I'm just going to say this shade is insanely pigmented. So I'm just going to work that into the inner part of my eye. I really am liking this color selection that they picked for the palette. I kind of thought they were going to go more like some pinks, which I guess this shade is kind of like on the line of a pink, but I like that it's a bit more grungy. Like I was really curious when I heard that they were gonna do kind of like a spooky Valentine's Day release. I literally had no clue, and I'm really living for this. It's not quite monochromatic because it obviously has other shades, but I love this vibe. Like it's different, but I love it. I'm intrigued. I'm going to dip in with this like lavender kind of shade, Immortal, and just take that all around the edges. And I am going to completely take that on the inside part of my eye, just as like a transition between my skin and our colored eyeshadow. I will definitely say I appreciate the fact that Gourmande Girls does the depth mid-tone light shade. Definitely my favorite color scheme for palettes. And of course, no surprises. Gourmande Girls stuff blend so easily and so pigmented. And then as per normal, it does happen when you blend that you will lose some of your definition. So I'm just going to go dip back in with Nosferatu and the same brush just to really intensify. And then for our lovely shimmers, I'm just going to take a little bit of the NYX Glitter Primer. I do know that Gourmande Girls has their own. I unfortunately have not picked it up yet, but it definitely is on my list as something to get from them just to try out. I have heard Steph's Beauty Stash talk about it, and they really seem to like it. So it definitely is on my list. So I'm going to dip in with the gorgeous shade Hysteria. It's so pretty. I'm going to put that on the lid. Okay, seriously, stop. Look at how purple that is. I swear, they always knock it out of the park with their shimmers. I mean, they're mattes too, don't get me wrong, but like, ooh. This purple is, I just want it smothered everywhere. It's just so good. Dipping in with the shade Mina. I think what I love about this shade is it gives me vibes of like some of their other shades that they've had before that are quite transformative. Like I think it looks super white, but I would say it's almost, I don't know if it's like quite super duochrome, but it has some differences in there. It has some pinks, some different reflex, and I think it's such a perfect shade in this palette that can work with any of the looks, as it is basically it is like the brightest shimmer shade. I appreciate that it will work with every single shade of this palette. So I really do like that. Let me go ahead and finish up and we can come back and chat. Okay, here's the look fully completed. I just put on mascara. I know I probably didn't even need to do all of that. I could have just ended it there, but let's go ahead and move on into our next look. For look 2, I really wanted to go more towards the grays. So I'm starting out with the shade Hellmouth and just grabbing a pencil brush. And I'm mainly going to focus this color in my outer corner. I don't want it to be like too much of a focus. As you can see on this side, I feel like it's literally just there to add in some depth. Dipping in with the shade Hunted. Focusing this color just in my crease, take it around the edges, as well as underneath the eye. Dipping into Elemental Dust, gonna focus some of that in this inner part of the eye, and use it to go around our shape. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and dip in with this shade Bitten. I love that this has like a purple flip, but I feel like there's also like a little bit of gray that blends really well with this look. It's a really nicely transformative shade. And then for the star of the show, we're going to dip in with Euphoria. Now, I did not say in my initial part of playing with this palette, I have centralized this is a shade that is a bit more of that, we'll just say moussey texture, because it's the only word I can ever remember. This is the only shade, at least I found on this palette, that is like this. But, ooh, it is a sparkly, sparkly dream. I'm just going to go in with a brush just to soften the edges of this a little bit. That is so freaking pretty. Alright, I hope that you enjoyed those looks. Definitely let me know down below which one is your favorite. Definitely stay tuned and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Subscribe. I will be having, I'm pretty sure, at least 2 more looks coming in short, so definitely subscribe to that. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. All of that is down in the description box. What I thought would be fun to do, as I have a growing collection now from Gourmande Girls, I wanted to look through their other palettes just to see if we think there's any similarities. I think it is always a really good idea just to do this if, you know, you as a consumer, you know, are like, do I need this palette? Do I not? So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of go through. Let's actually pull out their most recent palettes that they did. So I'm going to pull for Frozen Kiss. I'm going to break it apparently. And the Calavera palette. Frozen Kiss is just, still such a gorgeous wintry dream. I do not think that they're similar at all. I think the purples in this one are definitely different undertones. Shimmers are completely different. Calavera, different kind of color story. These colors just look so summer to me. I don't see any overlap within that. I recently picked up the El Camino and the Paradise Cove palettes. I had not purchased these before, so I'll probably have a video coming on that soon random if you are curious. Again, not same color story. El Camino might like a little bit. I mean, really not really. There's like a pink. Let's go ahead and pull, I would assume their most popular palette, which is the Nightshade palette. I think that there are slight similarities with some of the shades. There's 2 lavenders. So you can tell they're different undertones. This one's way brighter than the other. I still think this palette stands really well on its own. I think just more deciding, do you like this kind of color scheme of purples, reds, pinks? Not really pinks. Like I said, Vampira is not only one that has that. Again, Spook, there's again a teeny bit, but I really think that they did a really good job not having any overlap haunted. I know a lot of people feel like this one and Nightshade are very similar, but not this one. She still stands alone. And then lastly, just to show, because I think it's fun, is the Nueva Vida, which is completely not the same. So yes, I really appreciate this. I appreciate the fact, like I said, that they didn't include these little things. As far as I'm aware, this palette will still retail for $54.99, which is the standard price of most, if not all, of their eyeshadow palettes. You can use my discount code Maddie if you would like to pick up this palette. No pressure. I think it's just good to save some money. It is an affiliate code, so I will get a little kickback if you do use that code. If this is not your color story, don't do it. But I think this is such a brilliant idea for a Valentine's Day palette. It's like love time of year, and I love that it's still like, it's spooky, but it can still be romantic. It's like Bitten, like, oh, vampire, like, ooh, sexy. I'm really in love with this color story. I cannot wait to keep creating with this color story. Gourmande girls, you killed it again. Y'all keep killing it. Literally, I hope that Christina and Doodles by the Bunny, I'm like blanking on the name, I apologize. They're such the perfect duo together. Like, never, ever stop creating together. You all make literally the best magic of palettes. Like, so good. So good. Okay. You all have a great rest of your day. Make sure to subscribe if you want to. Like, comment. I already said that, but we'll just say it again at the end. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on my next one. Okay. Bye.